universe. That's not a small feat at all. Okay. Whenever you're ready. January, that's my favorite month. Because I was born that month, motherfucker. Oh, sorry, not swearing in the first 30 seconds of the show. That's a horrible start of the new year. I apologize to aunts and uncles and those fragile people who's in bed now because it's a wake-up show, it's late. And by the looks of it, you're still awake. I like that. This is the third season of the wake-up show. From the basement still, seems that the universe is slow in conjuring up a proper San Francisco skyline behind me, but this works great. And what's even greater is that I'm in the dream, I'm living the dream, and today we'll have a fellow dreamer on the show, a great guy who I've been dying to meet for centuries. That's a long time, man. Now is the time. Sorry, I'm messing up the core here. It's also, I've read in newspapers that there's a new president in town and that the old president, he left. So that's probably really important for someone else because we have bigger fish to fry. You know, we're not the blah 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 show. We're the wake up show. Come on. And this season is gonna be. Like last season was wild, this season is going to be even wilder. How am I going to live up to that? This doesn't make any sense. I'm just ranting. Should we run the intro? Run the intro.
Live from the dream, aka Drummond, it's the Wake Up Show with your host, Wolf Thunder Flitty.
Welcome. So you know, I'm busting my ass every Thursday. Well, I have two Thursdays off. It was horrible because I love doing the show. But to be able to do this show and to do it while actually providing food and a roof over the head of my children, I have such a thing called patreon.com/thewakeupshow because you know, even though I am made out of love and I will exist eternally, I still need to feed the meat puppet, which is this thing I'm walking around in from day to day. And you can help me. Become a patron. It's great. And you know, if you're a patron, you'll get exquisite access to the ULF experience. And I have to apologize sincerely to my patrons because I've gotten a bit sidetracked on the whole ULF experience, and I promise you the horse episode, it's gonna come out. My birthday is on Saturday, I think maybe, but it's gonna be by January, I promise you. And it's a wonderful episode where I confront my fear of horses, and as I recall, it goes fairly well. I think maybe there's a clip there which is called like a teaser or something. You can show that.
Sure. I have a dream that one day a man will fall out of the sky like some awesome superhero from a Hollywood blockbuster movie. And he, namely me, will wake you all up.
Okay, that's a great clip of me coming from the heavens and landing and the salvation and everything. There was a clip of me riding a horse, but we'll get back to that. I have no idea where it is. And Kristian Trejos is on top of things, and we are moving forward. Now, I have a very special guest with me here today, a fellow dreamer, a comedian, a funny guy. I think I don't think we've ever met before today, but I've heard, and I've sort of felt it's about time it's about time that that me and Jon Schau,
maybe?
Schau,
Yeah, that's what they call me.
Jon Schau.
Yep.
Jon Schau, that's cool. That Jon Schau, would you mind coming into the studio? Would you come on into the studio?
No,
I'll
I
give you,
wouldn't
an
mind at all.
applause.
I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want a hug or something?
Yeah,
Are you
why
allowed
not?
to?
Why not?
I think we are.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you, man. Have a seat.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I have made a lower third for you. It says, now what do you want to be? Do you want to be, I'll show it on this camera. Do you want to be Jon Schau? Jon Schau? Jon Schau, the boy who lived.
Yeah.
That's a Harry Potter reference there. Or
Yeah.
do you want to be Jon Schau, comedian and public speaker?
No, I'll take the first.
That sounds way cooler.
Yeah.
The boy who lived.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like it sounds like it already happened. So it's like
Yeah, so this is your funeral.
the guy who lived. So I'm not doing that anymore, probably.
The boy who lives.
Yeah, lives. Yeah.
Boy who
Oh,
lives.
thank you.
The boy who lives.
Oh, what a huge difference.
That makes all the difference. It's just an S. Welcome to the
I'm
show.
still here.
You're still
Thanks.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna have you leave already. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
So, I believe, Kristian, it was you who said, like, you need to have Jon on the show because he was a major influence to you, and you talked about this book you read and something. And then I think maybe Jannike has been talking lovely things about you, and I was like, yeah, we should have him on the show. And now you're on the show.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And now, obviously,
It's strange now to think that, a little while ago I wasn't here.
yeah,
that's
it's like it
interesting.
had never happened
Yeah.
because you're here.
Yeah, and suddenly I saw you, and then you were here too. It was amazing.
Oh,
And another guy who no one knows who is,
Kristian
I
Trejos.
guess. Yeah, there you are. So yeah, he's waving.
do we have hands now? It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I usually use my hands a lot when I talk. I've noticed.
Now, everyone I talked to about Jon Schau says, hey, he died or something. And then he came back and then he told the story, which sounds really interesting. But that's a long time ago, and you're not dying now.
No. And apparently I wasn't then either.
That's
So,
pretty. That's the trickery with death.
yeah.
Because it sounds so final, right? I remember, like,
Yeah, that's
myself, earlier on in my journey, was very, very sure that this was it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the confines of this.
It feels somewhat like that's where we all start. Kind of.
It would be very natural. Or maybe we
Yeah.
start, like, as babies, it seems we don't really care. And then we get told a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Better watch out for those cars.
Yeah.
They'll run you over. You'll be dead. Don't want you don't want to be dead.
Yeah.
That's
It seems like the most important thing is that don't do the wrong thing.
yes.
Don't end up like something you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's in itself, it's like it works against itself to become something that you shouldn't be. That's amazing. It's like, wow, now you are what you shouldn't be.
yeah.
What does that mean? You weren't supposed to be this. Okay. So what's the standard answer to that?
Well, I'm Wolf Thunder Flitty. The next Letterman.
Yeah.
Leatherman.
Leatherman, yeah.
This joke is so old. I need a new one. You know, when someone told me about, or maybe I read about your experience with the great hereafter, I realized that I met you in that experience sort of on my ayahuasca journeys. It's very interesting how death and plant medicine reveals some sort of fabric outside of this construct that we call reality.
What I'm thinking when you say that is that I think that what both of those things take away is like a concept.
Yeah,
It's no longer a concept to be alive. Because it's like on this what should I call it, the physical world or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
the physical plane.
It seems like people are very interested in becoming someone.
Yeah.
So it's like you're never without concepts when you're trying to become. So then you're like caught in this process that needs progress, and you need to know what you're supposed to become, and that kind of takes away this moment every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're not here.
Exactly. So I think it's the thing that this is similar. I think it's just because there's no concept. It takes away the concept, and you're just here, or there.
You just are.
Yeah.
The isness is
Exactly.
the business, or something like that. Some
Yeah.
guru probably said.
And it's
sometime.
like, you know, that's also what I don't talk about my experience as a dead person. You know, it's more that how this was different, how it flips everything around and around and around, so that you kind of you lose all this. You don't need to know what it is, and then suddenly it's not dangerous anymore. It's just something that's going on, and there is no other place to be than right here. And you know, if I think how I was like before this happened, you know, I was a comedian, and I did like 15 shows a week, and I was like, you know, I was spending myself, you know, to become someone. But every night when I had become someone, I realized that, I have to become someone tomorrow as well. And then even before I was finished becoming the guy that I was on Tuesday night, I had started thinking of what guy I had to be on Wednesday night. And it's really strange, because it's like, it feels like you're in this, it has a name in English, this same day over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah, like the movie
Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah, Groundhog
Day.
Yeah,
Just-
the movie, right?
You're just repeating the same old
Yeah, exactly.
story.
And that's the strange, or maybe the biggest difference between living a concept and just being alive is that there's nothing to hold on to when you're not living a concept.
Yeah.
You don't need to hold on to anything. You start realize that, I don't need to keep all the old food that I cannot continue to eat, because I could throw it away and put some new food in there. So that's kind of the movement of life. I think it's kind of an image. You have this rotten food in your refrigerator, and you someone asks you why is that there? Because it has to. Why? I don't know why. I've just heard that it's supposed to be like that. So and that's the life you're into when it's a concept. It's like today it's supposed to be like this, and then now you're supposed to fart and do that sound you did earlier that made us laugh, so that the audience can laugh. And it's like, but my ass isn't. There's no air there now. I spent it. So it's like, yeah, you're going into every moment prepared for something that will not happen, and then you insist on, but there was parts of it there, so I'm getting there, and that's why you start. For every, you cannot move without a feeling that I'm evolving now. I'm developing. I am becoming at least one step further to what I am supposed to be. It's I don't know if it makes sense.
Well, it does, but it's hard. I think when you're convinced that you are the concept.
Yeah.
It's hard letting go of the illusion that that's you. Yeah. That's all you are.
Yeah.
That's as far as I can tell. Looking at my own story, it's sort of like I had my story. That was me, and then I lost the script, and I was like, who am I? Who is Ulf? And then I sort of asked the universe, who is Ulf? The universe just sort of, it just echoed into itself, and I was like, oh, great. So who is in charge here? It's like,
yeah,
okay. And then it's like, well, why on earth am I here? And it's like, well, that's what I always wanted.
Yeah.
And what more can I do? What more can I say? Like it's just happening onto itself. And the moment I realized you just have to show up for the damn thing.
It was like when you didn't no longer stand in the way of listening.
Yeah.
You heard that you were supposed to do what you always dreamt to do.
Yeah.
So who wouldn't want that? Who would say, yeah, works for you, but not for me, not yet.
No. I guess that's the beauty of life. Mm-hmm. Is that everyone has their own journey, right?
Yeah.
We're not all in sync. We're not sort of waking up all at the same time. Everyone's sort of taking their different approaches to this mystery.
Yeah.
Which seems unsolvable because you want to solve it with these strange tools that the mind is equipped with, and then it just isn't.
And you don't want to go out and experience it because that's like that makes me tired. Do you have a book? Do you have
maybe
like a leaflet or something that can just give it to me? So I get to feel alive without even trying.
That's exactly every time I watch like a movie or I read a book, and especially if it doesn't really like put fire in my soul, I'm like, I'm just sort of trying to have an experience of life without having an experience of life. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Couldn't I just go outside and pick a fight with someone if I really wanted to experience this reality? And it's absurd because it's like, so everyone's sitting inside desperately wanting to blossom into that butterfly that we are, looking at everyone else like, oh, look at them, they're flying so beautifully. Fly. Oh, too close to the sun, you got fucked, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, sorry. And I'm safe, and I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting still, and it's strange. I actually, this brings me. I find this is a nice transition into a project of mine, which is a ice bathing, I believe. Swimming in the cold water. Have you tried swimming in cold water? Like in
I have
winter?
a background from the army actually. So,
so you've been.
Yeah, I've been out all the way. I've been everywhere.
You've been everywhere, high and low. So I have obviously been swimming during summer, not during winter or when the water is cold. And then a friend of mine, Kristian, not that Kristian, other Kristian, sort of said, you have to come swimming in the cold ocean. It's beautiful. It's great. And then I'm talking too much. Run the clip. It explains itself. Why on earth? Are you ready?
Yes. My God, so it's finally happening. It's 2021. And this is a Sunday. And on the coming Friday, the 22nd of January, I'm going to be going for a dip in the Oslo fjord together with my friend Kristian, who has been promoting ice bathing. Is that what it's called? Now, he suggested to me to shower in cold water because it's great for like your body and your soul, but also because it prepares you for going into the cold water. So this is me taking a cold shower to prepare myself. Okay. So this is the adjuster of temperature. I'm gonna just take that all the way to. Oh, didn't go went that far. Do you think this is a good idea, Mette?
No, never.
Never.
And shouldn't you start and just put it colder and colder each day?
That's what Kristian said as well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking I'm just gonna go go straight for it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And you're gonna start standing in there?
Yes, because if I walk into the water, that's even harder.
Okay.
And I think this is the best way.
Okay. Cool.
Can you see my jug? No, it's a family show.
Yes.
Okay. Here goes. There is some resistance. So. Okay. My God. Okay, so it's pretty cold, and then it gets colder, and cold. I think I should shampoo the hair. Oh shit. Oh, okay. How long have I been in there? Oh. Calm down. Oh, my shoulders are starting to get numb in the shoulders. Oh, Sorry. Okay. Okay, bro. The brain is. Oh shit. Okay. I'll stop that. I'll stop that. Stop that. No, that's the wrong way. Oh. That was cold.
Yeah. I took a cold shower. Deal with it. Now, it would make sense to see me bathing in the actual ocean. But that hasn't happened yet. Because that was going to happen tomorrow. And that's why I thought this was perfect to talk about, was because my friend Kristian called me today and said, "Oof, it's been raining a lot, so the place where I go ice bathing, it's going to be like, what's it called? Human feces going into the sewer.
Oh,
Like there's some sewer over water stuff, so it's not recommended to swim there.
is that only when it's cold?
Maybe it's all year around. I have no idea. But he said we're not going to do it tomorrow. And I was invested and I'd like planned, tomorrow I am going to go to Oslo and I'm going to be swimming in the ocean. And I've been taking cold showers and I've planned this properly, and then it's not happening. And I was like, it's not happening? But we planned it.
Yeah.
I had this idea in my mind of it becoming something. Yeah. I was going to be the guy who swims in the water tomorrow, and now all of a sudden I'm not. And I was like, but all this showering, has it been for nothing? Is it complete disaster? And it just sort of, I don't know, when you spoke about this, when you let the concepts become you, you stop paying attention to where you are. Yeah, and again, like it's obviously I can swim in the water whenever I feel like it. It doesn't really.
And I think it's so funny that you kind of prepare by showering in ice cold water, as if that will make next time you will say, already this did this. Yeah. It's going to feel the exact same way when you do it the next time, I know. So,
do you want to? We have a clip of me doing it the next time.
So what's the worth of the preparation here?
That is the shower in itself, I guess.
Exactly.
I've showered 4 times in cold water, and because my friend Kristian said, like after a while, you sort of find calmness, when, like the cold sort of, and I see what he's getting at, and it is interesting because the body is just giving you all this information. It's very cold. It's very cold. Yeah. And then it's like I realized, like breathing, like just calming down, is the key ingredient to anything. Because when you're panicking, life becomes very uncomfortable.
Do you know what I just came to think of something, because it's like that top level sports. They're using like cryo technology or whatever it is, and it's like so to get back to normal after some heavy exercises and stuff, they sit like a minute in below minus 200 centigrades. Yeah. Wow. And then everything, because then the body goes over into self-preservation thing or something, and then it gives all that it has to repair the body again. Yeah. Oh wow! So that's one of the reasons that they can train more or whatever. So maybe that's what he's trying to do to you. Yeah. But it's amazing that you're standing in the cold shower, and you're like, oh, it's freezing, and they're sitting in minus 200. Yeah. And it doesn't feel cold because it's kind of out of range for what I can feel.
That's interesting.
It's really weird.
Maybe we should try that. Where did we get one of those -2?
They have it, you know, like
We'll call some athletes.
yeah,
They'll figure it out,
the
tell us.
Olympia Center or something.
yeah,
they
yeah.
probably have, yeah.
But I was curious. Now, obviously, I'm a bit younger than you, so I recall you as being a comedian guy, and you're still a comedian because you're a funny guy. You can't stop being a funny guy. And I guess it sort of speaks into the whole, how seriously do you take life? And then it becomes sort of fun. I was wondering, are you still doing stand-up or comedy or?
I think it's a better question. Does it mean a lot? And it doesn't.
No.
It's not. The strange thing about it, I thought about it earlier today because it's like it gave me something that I felt that I couldn't get any other way, and that was being taken seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, he's famous, so everything he says, I have to listen to that. And the people believe it, and they say, oh, I heard you said that. And when I heard that, I thought, wow, I've been thinking about that as well. Oh, great, good. Because it's like, when you're in this concept, the people starting up your concept is usually your parents, your family. And it's like you're in that concept, and then the way out of it is that someone else start listening to you and taking you seriously, because then suddenly I was able to make my own life. It didn't come with things that my father said had to be part of it, and my mom said had to be part of it. And I feel that I think a lot of people who are seeking to be famous, in reality is seeking to be heard, to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And then I can start speaking. Then I can talk my own words. Then I can talk my own concepts, my own ideas, my own everything. So it kind of gave me this hole, through the wall. But now it's like, I don't need that hole anymore. But no. I don't need the recognition. It's not, I think it's much more valuable to be with I have 4 kids, like from 25, the youngest, she's 4. And it's like her, without me asking for it, showing me that she really likes that I am here. That's the thing that kind of moves me now. It's like if people are clapping, it's like after a while, after doing it 50,000 times, it's like it's like a sound in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just what you hear on the way out.
But it is, I have a 4-year-old myself, and an 8 and a 10-year-old, and a fresh soul coming in April, because we're not finished yet with the building of the family empire. The stuff I've learned from just being with the kids, and the value of just hanging out with these fresh people, it's so profoundly beautiful, and always like, that's it. That's the stuff.
Yeah.
Like the 4-year-old, I just call her Yoda because she's sort of like a Yoda person, just making fun of all the things I think are important.
Yeah.
So I have to do this important stuff. And she's like, okay,
Yeah.
really? That's
Yeah.
important. It's a nice lesson in life.
Yeah.
But what do you fill your days with? Like as you see, I have a show. Do you have a show?
No. I do what I feel like doing.
I like that.
It's because it's like, at least in my experience, I don't have any goal of becoming silent, be at one with nothing. To me, it's so much more interesting to kind of looking at yourself as if you're someone else, so that you can see just what's going on, not what you think about your own ideas and stuff like that, but you just see them for what they are. And then so it's always one of those things that show up. It's like your dream, you know. This is what I have to go into now. It's like it's not me choosing. I'm just waiting till it's chosen, and then this starts the fire. Kind of.
That is a really nice approach to living your life, I think, by just paying attention.
Yeah.
To what shows up, and then sort of this feels like a stream.
Because
I want to go down.
the thing that I'm kind of not, it's like I'm 54 now, so it's like it's kind of weird to say that I am as much in contact with the 1-year-old as I was when I was 1 year, you know, because it's like there's something that is happening every day, which has to do with the formalities that we've created, the rules. It doesn't allow a child to be a child. It's like you have this concept and this concept and this thing that you should be, you know, and it kind of makes your time not your time. All the time is to do as daddy suggested, and then it could be something, and then suddenly you're the guy sitting just thinking about possible project that could somehow fit with what you want to do. But you never get straight to what you want to do. So it creates like this slope that it doesn't stop until you're like 78 and says, oh fuck, I forgot to be here. Oh shit. It was all about the concept and how to ease your way out of it.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good time to like plug the movie Soul. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I have.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's split totally in two, because it's like I love that this is the topic, and that would and that it's opening up so much. At the same time, it's like to me, it's like I see all the things that I feel is lacking.
Yeah.
Because it's so much bigger, it's so much greater than this. This is like a keyhole.
It's just a small fragment of. I see totally what you mean.
Yeah.
But at the same, I love this film as well. It's a very beautiful sort of delving into, daring to look outside sort of our reality. Just like turning our perspective just a little bit, like what I always like about the films, like what happens when you just like take a step back, and like, because when you're in yourself and you're like in the razzle dazzle of this absurd life that you decided to live, you become very caught up in it. Like when I'm showering and I forget to breathe, I'm like, oh, that's really contracted. But when I sort of cool down, I'm in the timeless zone, and things are very different. And what's the main character in the film is where like, well, the moment I get to play in front of a big audience, I will be happy. And then that doesn't happen, and then he's sort of like, but you have to find your thing.
Yeah.
And that really spoke to me. It's like, doesn't really have to be that narrow.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's
what I find so interesting is that the use of the word spark. What you're looking for is the spark.
Yeah.
Because that's what I have the time to wait for now.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing, because it's like your life and yourself isn't two different things. It is you doing yourself, but it's not to become better or to make myself becoming further in front of everyone else. That's not the worth that is in it. It's the thing that you're moving with what is right now.
Yeah.
And then, the being afraid that the next moment will not be this moment.
Yeah.
It never appears. It never materializes, But earlier it was like, my first show, I was so afraid of forgetting something that was important. So I had to talk to a lot of people. What are the important things here? Yeah, you have to have this one, you have to have that, you have to blah, blah, blah. And then I had like 100 things, and I had to relate to all of that. And it was like
too many cooks.
2 days before the opening night.
Oh my God!
I was thinking, I don't remember anything. What is this show about? What is it? And then it's like all the things that were in there was the unneeded stuff, What does a singer need other than his voice?
It's just about it.
That's just about it. And then if you say, yeah, but you need drums, and you need a knickerbocker and a huckabecker, and then we see your hairline and we kind of hear someone who forgets the lyrics all the time. Whoa, and it's weird.
It feels like the perfect point in the show for me to sing a song, because I am the studio band, and I like, you know, I'm doing this show, and obviously at first I was like, oh yeah, so if I come to San Francisco, then my show will be a success, and then I made it. But I know I've always made it.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it. It's nothing. There's no end game. It's just doing it.
Yeah.
And then it will just, whatever happens.
Exactly.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not only is it fun, it's lovely, it's great, it's beautiful, it's profound. So I was gonna play a song here, because I'm learning to play the guitar, and I like to play guitar to people. And I like to sing to people, because I think it's a gateway drug to love and harmony and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily raises, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my face, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Find it hard to tell you, and I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Made to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Looked right through me, looked right through me. And I find it kind of funny, and I find it kind of sad. Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. And I find it hard to tell you, and I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Enlarging your world. Mad world.
I really like that.
It's a beautiful song, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause it's
I realized I hadn't heard. I hadn't really listened to the lyrics before.
It's very,
I've heard it many
it's
times.
very beautiful. Like especially the second verse, I feel like it's just sort of undressing the whole concept of children becoming adults.
Yeah.
We have to teach them how to become something that can function in this reality, in this world.
Yeah.
Like there's
That's,
some sort of useless thing that came along, popped out of some vagina, was like, oh god damn it, now we're kids.
You know,
What's-
in this context, the lyrics are so profound.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it just, while being present, that is, it just blew my mind. Actually,
It's kind of related also to the Pink Floyd the teachers and the students.
Yeah, we don't need no education.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't need no thought. No, yeah, it's very.
Yeah,
It's a similar mindset.
it's
that's
kind
true.
of more with a big drum,
Yeah.
but with the same content, ish.
Yeah.
And then to me, it almost summed up the whole, you were talking about your children and you were talking about, we were talking about dying and all that. And just it sort of made this cyclical kind of, when people go in circles, it's a mad, mad world. And I mean, in this reality, what are we actually doing? What are most people doing? We're just moving around in circles, like you said, Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah.
It felt like that.
Yeah, and then, waking up at the hospital, and then everything is not like that.
You broke the circle.
Yeah, but it's like, how did it feel to die? It's like, do I look dead?
You look very much alive.
Yeah,
You look more
that-
alive than ever.
So, and that's the thing. It's like, I am very sure that what I experienced was dying. One of the things is that there is this professor, and he's Dutch, and he's the only person that is a professor on near-death stories.
Yeah.
So he has he has read 40,000.
I think it's on that Netflix show, actually. It's called
Yeah.
Beyond Death.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out
He's
like...
been sort of researching
Yeah.
people's stories from their near-death experiences.
Yeah, and what I met him, and he listened when I was in Holland, and then I was of course interested in if I gave something new to him, something he hadn't heard about before. So I asked him, did I bring something that? No, not really. I've heard it all before, and I was halfway disappointed,
Because you had that
But then
very
he said this,
strange experience. Yeah.
which was amazing. He said, "But I have never before heard someone talk about this that incorporates everything I ever heard about it." So I've been wondering, why are someone saying, "Oh, it's dark and it's really scary"? Someone's talking about a light and a mesmerizing feeling of love, and someone meet their family, blah blah. But what you did, you made that into one story. You showed it to me that it's like
He had all the pieces of the puzzle, but you sort of showed him the narrative of the
it was like
experience.
the process.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so he summed it up and he said, if someone on this planet is supposed to know about this, I can say that this is the most comprehensive and thorough near-death experience ever in history.
Yeah.
And it's not for. I'm not trying to say now that just come to me, I know everything, because what it does to you is the opposite. But it takes away. It takes away death. Actually, it's like, because death is what comes from death is life. I actually tested this because some years ago, me and a friend, we have talked about, if you were in a totally dangerous situation, are you sure you wouldn't be afraid? And I wasn't totally sure, And then suddenly we was on this airplane, we flew Chesapeake Bay, you know, in the New York area. And then suddenly I heard on the speakers in the plane, we are approaching an area with heavy turbulence. And it's like, heavy? Have you ever heard heavy? No, I always heard some light turbulence.
Yeah, not the word
and I thought, okay, I have to pee. We can be sitting here long. So I stood up, and the air hostess, she stopped me. And she said, what are you doing? Oh, I have to pee. And her answer was, pee in your pants.
There we go. There we go.
And then I went back and I told my friend who was sitting, you know, we could look at each other. And then what happened was that suddenly we were sitting in the plane, and we were like, what happens to everyone's hair? It's like standing straight up.
Wow, that must have been heavy. Jesus.
And wow, there's luggage here, you know. So we were flying upside down. We really realized that we looked out and the sky was that way.
Jeez.
And then I remembered that he was sitting there, and I thought he might be afraid now. So I looked at him, and he looked back at me, and we started smiling.
Wow.
And we sat there smiling.
Wow.
And then I knew that it's not only me believing that something happened, but something truly happened.
Right. It's a shared experience.
To me, death is like it is kind of the what do you call it? It's like the tillstånd.
A state.
Yeah, the state that the bushes down by the ocean goes into during winter.
Right.
And then they come back.
Hibernation, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it comes back.
Right.
You know,
temporary state.
If you saw it in the fall,
right,
and take a picture,
You'd be sure
you
it was
call
that.
back in the spring after. It's the same bush.
Right.
So it's like it's more like, you know, a movement that is like this, and that's, you know, imagine being able to make that into something extremely dangerous.
Yeah, right. I mean, the concept of death is haunted. Well, it is haunting humanity, right? Right now.
Well, that's. I guess we're currently in a state of
plague.
Distress because there's a plague. I like to call it the plague because it's a cool word. And you know, all the plague is an imminent doom. Oh, you can die.
Yeah.
And we can't allow that to happen. And I think you said it so beautifully. It's like, well, death is but a phase, or it's a state, but it's not a permanent state. It's like everything. It's circular.
Yeah, that's how I've experienced it.
And it's like I like Alan Watts' approach. It's like, imagine going to sleep and never waking up again.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because you never have.
Yeah.
But then you're like, no, but it's got to be somewhere in the back there where it didn't. Because I know for a fact that humans evolved from something else. So I must, at some point, there must be a rational explanation to this. But everything, if you look into religious scripture or to spiritual stuff, it's always death, rebirth. There's never death, period. And it's because it isn't, and it never has been, and it never will be. And it's obviously tempting to think that this is it.
But
then again, it doesn't really aid us.
One of the hugest diversions from reality is the belief in knowing
Yeah.
When you think that you're able to know, because it's like I have this image. It sounds to me like a lot of us think that this is the biggest intelligence ever, and I'm thinking, you know, sometimes it feels like we think that we invented the universe. It's like we created this.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, you travel half the way through through space, and you get to a place, and you say, "I'm going to show you something." You see this thing here? I come from. I can't see it from here, but it's like that direction.
In that general direction, there is something.
And yeah, so what you don't see now is the planet, but on this planet, it's like if you see my brain, in comparison to this invisible planet, it's like, let's say you could put like a 900 trillion brains on it. And the guy says, that brain must be really, really small. No. It can understand the whole universe. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. And then it seems like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to know everything. But it's like, what is knowing?
Yeah, right.
It's like if you have a boat, it lands in that port at the same time every day. How many times does it has to do that before that is the way it is? But you know, you have a new captain on a boat and he is not as precise as the other one, and then suddenly nothing is real. It wasn't reality at all. It was just something going on.
Right.
So therefore, you know, I think that's the reason why you see the people that have come into like a bigger perception. Archimedes, you know, he probably thought that this is the archives.
Yeah.
So and he was a mathematician, so he was finding, you know, the right the right way to how to I have to say it in Norwegian.
Yeah, say it in Norwegian.
Han lagde formler for hvordan måle altså massen i en jevn overflate. I en firkant, i en trekant, i en runding, i en sånn. Men så kom han på, hva med hånda mi? Altså en uregelmessig overflate. Og han gikk fram og tilbake da, gikk gjennom arkivskapet, den veien, leita, det ble helt rødt, håret hans begynte å stå rett opp, for han har dratt seg i huet så mange ganger, så til slutt så sier han bare, jeg gir opp, I'm going to bed, I'm going to take a bath, he says. And then his body goes down in the bath, and over the edges of the tub, water. And then he was so eager when that happened, that the story tells he forgot to put on clothes. He just ran out of the room, running in the streets. Eureka! I have it!
Right.
I have it! He didn't say, I found it. I have it. So as soon as he gave himself a break from all this that he knew, the experience was there.
Right. Right. When he let go.
When he let
Yeah.
go. When he said that, no, this isn't the
Right.
biggest
Right.
intelligent in the universe. Like, so it's like what that lie becomes over time is that we created this.
Right.
We can know everything about, but what we don't think about is that this planet right now, all of the human history that was up until today and will be into the unforeseeable future.
Right.
Everything that creates that has been here from day one.
Right.
We didn't create anything.
It's like the carpet you're sitting on. There's no
We're
end.
picking the resources.
Right.
We're not building them.
Right. It's a circle. It's no beginning, no end. It's just always been there.
Yeah.
It's an unbreakable thing. And I think if you go back to the interview you did with Fem, you talk about your life as an image, right? And then you say that if it's dark over here, dark up at the top of the image, that's things that, well, you're ashamed of, and oh man, I shouldn't have done that. And then at the bottom, there's light. The picture's light. It's stuff that, oh man, I'm so proud of this. This is my accomplishments and all that. And then you realize inside the light there, if I remember you correctly, that that's just me. I'm the one who's making it light or dark or insisting on, well, what I call judging, right?
Yeah.
I am judging the experience, but when you let go of that, that's when you start to live.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong, negative, positive, but at the same time, our whole world is made around that, well, those two concepts, good and evil.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And we're so many of us are always judging positive, negative, negative, positive all the time. And I find that when you let go of that, and you've been really helpful in that, and I think that, collectively too, and I really, I this is probably why I keep showing so many people your experience on YouTube, because in times like we are in today, and the state of the world, remember that there's nothing really here. There's nothing bad, nothing good. We can just be. And like you say with the story with Archimedes, if we let go, things will flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It even rhymes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
brain.
our new song for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brain, a great servant, horrible master. And I had this. I don't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it was my wife, and we was talking about like this idea we have that we live inside of the mind, and that the mind contains our consciousness. And obviously, you have to realize that that's not the case at all, because the consciousness is just allowing us this experience through this meat puppet thing that we've sort of always wanted to walk around in, because it looks like so much fun. That's pretty amazing. But like we've now been sort of pushing this idea that the physical body, that's all we are.
Yeah.
And if we can prod and poke around in the brain, and we can find like our soul, and we can put it in a jar, and we say, oh, I found my soul. Now I know that I have a soul. You can't put the soul into a glass jar. It's bigger than the universe. It's not containable.
Yeah.
You are not just sitting in this chair right now. You're in the room. You are the room. And it just baffles me how we keep on forgetting and insisting that the mind is us, that this is all we are.
Yeah.
And sort of like, so we can make cool phones and we can go on airplane journeys. And I love that there is a distinction between light turbulence and heavy turbulence, and that's when you be told to be yourself. Because I have gone to the bathroom a couple of times, when there's turbulence, and if you can go, I agree.
It's not just heavy turbulence; it's piss your pants turbulence.
Your pants turbulence.
It's the heaviest kind.
but again, like it's just like centering in on the moment, the here and now. And like Archimedes, what he's doing is that he gave up, so he can't do anything but be present in the moment. And the moment he's present in the moment, he sees the situation around himself. And then it's all quite apparent. Like, it's all there. Or like Rob Bell says it so elegantly, it's all rigged in your favor. But you have to actually allow yourself to believe that. Because if you insist it's rigged against you, and it is a death trap that's hurling through space, and you have to hold on to some palm tree or something, if not it's slung out into non-existence.
If it's okay, like 2 seconds about the bushes again.
Yes, go to the bushes.
If you have a bush in the seat beside you in the plane, does the bush say, "Oh fuck, we're dying, something's going"? It has. We will probably say that it doesn't have intelligence, and that's why it's not doing it. But that is a really intelligent approach, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it seems like the bushes, they know that, we're going to spread our roots anyway, aren't we? And then they just do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were supposed to be dead or something, but it didn't happen. So, yeah.
They're just in total flow.
Yeah.
My God. It's a pickle.
Yeah.
But I like it's again like it's all a matter of perspective and presence and sort of, well, we are here right now.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Yeah.
Currently, that's it.
So
it's pretty fucking amazing.
No, but it is funny. It is funny.
But if you take away the concept of the soul, a part of us that isn't dying, that is always part of life, if that wasn't part of it, how can we evolve?
Right.
How? It would be the same Earth, because it's new people, totally new. And then we think, but the history, it's in the architecture and in the blah blah. But you cannot read life out of those things.
No.
So to me, it's like evolution is the proof that life evolves, and I think that a lot of people who doesn't go all the way to say that we never die, in some way they're not denying that we're evolving somehow. And that's why it's a little bit strange for me to kind of see that humanity is, to say it like lightly, one can agree with, we evolve in stages. Then it's like, but how does these new people then know what we did previously? Why don't they do? You know, it will be half a bridge, and then a span up like there, a sail, and it will be two floating things where you could put your boat,
Right.
and then a rental of fishing rods. And then,
Man, you have a
when-
beautiful mind. Let me just tell you, that is amazing. That is amazing. So,
Death. Yeah, it's a loaded word. But it is,
but isn't it nice though to know there's a transition going on? Like if you told me I'm gonna live forever, I would just be like, wait, this thing forever?
oh, the meatmobile?
The meatmobile.
You want to? How long do you want to?
How many miles do you have on your meatmobile?
Mileage.
Huh? Where do you
on
want to
that
go? But where are we going? Do you think? Where are we going with all this? I mean, the next 5 to 10 years. What are?
Where do you see humanity in the next 5 to 10
Yeah.
years?
Oh, it makes me think about like recent, very recent, with Donald Trump and all of that.
Mhm.
Because it's like, I think that to be able to change something that we really want to change, we have to see it. You know, we have to know that it's there. We have to, and because of Trump, we know a lot of things that is also there in the U.S. that we didn't know 4 years ago. So that's also evolving.
You're talking about things in the shadows that's, well,
Yeah,
become
that's
more
now
apparent.
brought into the light,
Right,
and
right.
we know that it's there, and so it's a, it's to me it doesn't give anything to be the judge of who is right or wrong, but it's more like that's actually what happened. It's
These are the greatest times.
yeah. But
Because
now you said something
it's-
you shouldn't say. That is nothing. You know.
No, it
You
is
see what I
nothing. But
Um,
it's.
Sorry for taking it out on you. It was just an example.
It's good. It's good. What I'm trying to get at is sort of, it's always happening. Life is always happening, and it's I love these religious biblical scriptures talking about the end of days and like the second coming and all of this. Like there's something big going to happen,
Yeah.
and it's always happening. But we can't see it because we're so afraid of something happening that we'd rather have nothing happening. So we're clinging, right, to all these concepts and ideas, like our parachute, because we need some safety here, because, well, we're going to die, and this is a race. We have to win this race, right? Wouldn't you? You want to
A
come out on top?
voluntary leap.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to, like, it seems to me like we want to do the leap of faith while at the same time being tethered to the fucking airplane to make sure that we don't die when we fall out of the airplane, even though we can't.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier being a poor little me, being a victim of the world, being sort of like at the end of the barrel of the gun, fending for yourself, than just realizing that you are the world, experiencing yourself. If you get what I'm saying, and it's. I don't get what I'm saying. I have to. I don't know. I don't want to.
I get kind of an image, and it's like, I think that all boys at one time masturbate.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that it's a good thing to always do it, and that's what we're doing now. It's like, this is part of the picture, don't make it into the whole picture.
Right, right.
That sums it up
Because
perfectly, yeah.
masturbating all the time.
You're gonna get sore and shit, yeah.
Yeah, there's this thing called
It's-
compulsive
That's
masturbation.
not good. You're not even
Sex
getting
wouldn't
out.
happen. No one would be born.
No.
Yeah, we're just sitting
So-
there jerking it all the time. And it is, in a sense, what we are doing.
Yeah, but it's the circle. Yeah, right.
The
It's
circle jerk.
Circle jerk.
My God.
And then once every 24 hours, it's a dong.
Yeah.
Dong. And it turns the other way. Now I do this.
Oh my.
Wouldn't that be something, huh?
But what is it if it goes on all the time?
Yeah.
It's something that is wasted. It has created concept for itself so that it does not longer serve its purpose.
What is the best thing for letting go? How does one let go? In your opinion?
Do you need to let go of something, Kristian?
It's
I like that.
no, I just think it's liberating.
You
is.
know what I think it's what I feel is that there's no reason to let go if you notice your life. And be not only the one that sees your life from the outside. Just don't look in the mirror, but be there with whatever goes on here, and let that be you, because that is you. And then I think, but I have this feeling that life could be filled with so much joy and so little little time for wanking that it would look like the first
Right. Right.
yeah, and it's like because that is also one thing that you see in children. You know, when they meet each other, they don't start to konkurrere. Compete to one another. They don't start competing.
No.
It's like they're laughing. When at least when I come in kindergarten, it's like you hear a lot of sound and a lot of laughing, and then someone crying. But that was sorry, it was a mistake. I didn't do it on purpose. But so it's like I never heard that. Yeah, you know, it's this really good kindergarten now, and you know, the guys that were the worst that day, they're killed before their parents come to get them.
Pick them up in
That's
coffins.
almost as harsh as the world becomes when we don't let ourselves in.
It's a paradox, you know, that we look at children, you know, and we see them living life in a more alive way. And then we worry because we have to tell them sooner or later about the harsh realities of life, where you get killed by a bus or have cancer or there's war or there's and you know, so we tell them about Santa Claus and like these beautiful stuff that we want so desperately to believe in, but we can't allow us to because we've seen past the illusion of the magic of reality. We can only see the pain, the suffering, and death and horror and making fools out of ourselves. And then we try desperately telling our children this so they don't have to experience the horrendous reality, even though it isn't real. What I'm getting at is this. I find it so entertaining that we have this idea, what we call something children and something adults. And the adults know what's up and the children don't, and the adults have to tell the children what's up. If not, things will go to hell. But the adults, they're just children
Yeah, and education is like these children, they're trained to know how this became like this.
Yeah.
So they spend the first half of their life almost
Yeah, to learn how
to
do we
learn
go.
how to get to where we were at when I was born.
Yeah.
And then
How did we get here?
And it's absurd
Keep
because
doing it.
we brought the children into the world to evolve the world. You know, that's the whole purpose of the exercise. It's like we're evolving, we're growing, we're breathing, we're dying, we're reborn, and then we're like, but we have to teach them how. So we make sure that everything stays constant in an ever-changing environment.
Yeah. That's one thing that I have talked a lot about actually, because to me it seems like a natural development or a natural, the word for it again, evolution. It always starts with the latest arrivals, saying, you know, we're working on this now, but we don't know how you want it to be when we're so. If you could tell us now what you need, we could just build it now, so that you could do the same when you move into what we built. Then you can ask the young ones, so that everyone doesn't move into the apartment that the other guys, those who were here before us wanted, but we can move into those that we need. We can move into a situation that is the way we wanted it to be. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, we teach them to become knowledge, and everything else is bullshit. And then they can start building. When they have learned to do it exactly the same way that we do it. And it's kind of it's turned around. It's
backwards.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got the
it's
whole thing
backwards.
backwards. It's fun.
yeah, I think but at least I think that's very strange.
Yeah. It is very strange. How are we on time? Do people have, oh yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah,
We're enjoying ourselves because we're in the timeless place.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we are in the timeless place right now. Time doesn't really matter.
You know that sitting and talk like this, it's a kind of a weird experience.
Yeah.
Because it's like I never remember. So it's like if someone who saw this today calls me tomorrow and says, "Well, I didn't get that with the bird."
What bird? Yeah.
Yeah. Bird? What bird? And he tells me a story, and I still don't remember it, you know, because it's just so it's almost like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Well, that is the fun part about trying to take that which is outside of this experience and shining a light on it inside of the experience. You know, like if you play a computer game, and then you start telling the avatars in the game about life outside of the game.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to talk about the life outside of life.
Yeah.
Because it's there's some joy poking at and playing with the mystery of life.
Yeah.
And sort of throwing it up into the air and sort of like see what we can catch it, or if it just falls apart, or
Yeah.
there's like like the playfulness. Like my best analogy was like we come into this world and then we become convinced that this is, if it was a movie, a political thriller where there's a conspiracy and there are very high stakes and you need to solve the puzzle before the end of the film. If not, everything's fucked and the planet will go into oblivion. And like, it's not that at all. It's The Hangover.
Yeah.
Our life is a crazy rump comedy, like from beginning to end. Like, because you know when you're standing alone jerking off in the shower, of course it's a comedy, man. It's not a thriller. If it was a thriller, you'd be stabbing someone with a knife or something. I don't know. It would be much darker.
Or then he would jerk off all the time.
But
24/7.
But The Hangover, if you've seen the film about these guys who has what is it? They have like a bachelor party in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is about them trying to figure out what the hell happened
Yeah.
to get them in. Why are we here? And then they're like, why are we here? Why is there a tiger? But this doesn't make any sense. And that's life.
Yeah.
And we're like, no. It makes complete sense. Because we have found out that the monkeys look like humans, and then we dug around and we found some skeletons of big animals, so they were here before us, and there was a huge explosion probably, and I'm like, we solved the thing. now we can go on and we've solved the mystery. And we didn't come here to solve the mystery. It's like coming to a great party and all you want to do is like, well, who arranged the party? Because I want to know like where they got the food from and like where these flowers, where did you get the flowers? Because like I want to make like this party later on. I can't be at this party and then not knowing if I need to just, I want to be sure that I can recreate this at a later time. Maybe could you just write it down or something? I'll take some pictures. It'll last longer. You're currently at the greatest party ever.
Yeah.
Trying to look for like recipes and totally missing the point.
Just get on the dance floor, man. Just, I mean, remove that stick from your butt and start dancing.
The butt stick.
The butt stick, right? Start dancing, man. That's another thing that I was told on.
It reminds me of the greatest ever name in the movie.
Yeah.
Gaylord Fucker.
Gaylord Fucker. Yeah, that's
I bet he's a great dancer, that one. Yeah, that's what movie is that from again?
That is is that Ben Stiller is coming with his girlfriend to impress the father-in-law, and he's like a detective, and everything is. It's like a mashup of a thriller and The Hangover. I think all movies are like that. Pretty sure.
Oh man, yeah, that's right.
I have this thing. I totally forgot. We're also doing a talk show, and I have a thing where I search the internet far and wide. The internet's big.
So they say.
It works even. It's big. I've read on the internet that the internet is big.
Do you know like this comes from far away?
No, they have
really far
they
away.
have like IP addresses, and this is from Taiwan or something.
Okay.
So it's really far away on this computer there, so it must be very exotic. Well, I've searched the internet far wide for a quote, which I find sums up tonight's episode perfectly. And I have to say, I did have to do quite a bit of searching. I used Google, Alta Vista,
DuckDuckGo, DuckDuckGo, Bing, Ecosia.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally found one, and I was wondering, would you mind reading this quote to the camera over there? I think that would be perfect.
Of course.
Yeah, I think this quote's perfect.
Where's the camera? There.
There,
Yeah.
just, yeah.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. It fits.
It does
Yeah.
fit fairly well.
How far did it come? Where did it come from?
Came from Michael Jackson, it seems.
Yeah,
This man in the mirror.
yeah, but also he didn't kind of deliver it. Now it's taken some time, so
It percolated.
also you have like the time factor here also.
Yes.
So this is not only from Michael Jackson, but it's from Michael Jackson some years ago.
Yes. I don't know when he
So
wrote
he
that
probably
song.
knew about this conversation at that time.
If not, he wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a way to relate to quotes.
But, you know, once you start sort of appreciating the fact that what you find in front
Yeah.
of you is for you, put there by your friends, Michael Jacksons and whatnot, and then just sort of dance around that stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was fabulous. It fits like perfectly.
And glove.
Yeah.
And if you take the G out of glove, you have a love.
I didn't understand what you
I
said.
have no idea. It was just segueing into love. It feels like we sort of, is this a good point? Do we feel like we need to hash out more stuff? Or are we settling into sort of like the great beyonds in this conversation?
I don't like overdose.
No.
Yeah, it's like I've quite a few times. You know, it's like you get eager because you like this yourself, so you want it to.
You want it to last
and then-
forever.
But yeah, okay.
No,
But it's on tape now, so it doesn't.
It is forever.
But it's like if it's too good, if you see what I mean, for you to stop, it's probably worth stopping.
Yeah, it's the jerking off again.
Yeah.
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 That's beautiful. I will end this episode with a song because it feels right, and I know I have the perfect song. It's my favorite song. It's Kristian Trejos' favorite song. It's going to be your favorite song because it's a beautiful song. But before we wrap this up, obviously I have to say, by golly, become a Patreon by now because, well, my future depends on it. And even though I don't care about it, maybe my children do or something. I don't. It's just, enjoy the show. And if you enjoy the show, be a Patreon. Patreon.com/WakeUp Show. And to all my wonderful viewers out there, I love you guys and girls. I think guys is sort of like embodies all of humanity and plants and animals and planets and all of that stuff. If they're watching, which they are. And my wonderful guest, Jon. It was so great to spend some timelessness in the basement, did you? I really like that. And I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, which is bottomless by the way, I love you, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I look forward
Yeah.
to hanging out with you more.
Yeah. I hope I can do this again with you guys. Or if not, whatever, whatever.
Whenever.
Yeah.
And Kristian Trejos, my funk soul brother, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm so sorry that you had to be like pinned over in the corner there. But then
Well, I did sneak myself in there.
Yeah, I know. You solved that perfectly, like always. I love you, man.
Love you too.
And now I shall play a song, and well, that's it.
This is it, man.
This is it.
Right here. Don't go anywhere. Huh?
Okay. When my body can't hold me anymore, and it finally sets me free, will I be ready? When my feet won't walk another mile, and my lips give their last kiss goodbye, will my hands be steady? Will I lay down my fears, my hopes and my downs, the rings on my fingers and the keys to my house, with no hard feelings? When the sun hangs low in the west, and the light in my chest, it won't be kept held at bay any longer. When jealousy fades away, and it's ash and dust for cash and lust, and it's just hallelujah, and love in thought, love in the words, love in the songs they sing in the church, with no hard feelings. Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone, kept me afraid and cold, with so much to have and hold. When my body can't hold me anymore, and it finally sets me free, where will I go? Will the trade winds take me south through Georgia grain, tropical rain, or snow from the heavens? Will I join with the ocean blue, or run into my Savior true, and we'll shake hands laughing? and walk through the night, straight for the light, holding the love I've known all my life, and no hard feelings, Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone. Kept me afraid and cold, so much to have and hold under the curvy sky. I'm finally learning why it matters for me and you to say it and mean it too. For life and its loveliness and all of its ugliness, good as it's been to me, I have no enemies. I have no enemies. I have no enemies. I have no enemies. Run the outro clip. Oh!